What's up, guys? So I left FRL last week, and I wasn't gonna totally leave you guys hanging. I figured I'll do some short videos here and there. I'll post the AWA YouTube channel because I don't have a YouTube channel, which I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Who knows? And this seems like a great video to start. David Taylor took the Oklahoma State job last night, Monday night. This is Tuesday morning. And I tweeted Sunday night that I thought he would take the job on Monday. I had no more inside information than anyone else. I knew he did an initial interview. I knew that Oklahoma State admins or whomever flew to Pennsylvania. And when I tweeted that, a bunch of people texted me and they told me I was wrong. Christian, you told me I was wrong. And I said, no, I don't have any inside information. That's what my gut tells me, right? And you talked me out of it. And you made me think he turned it down, which he may or may not have, whatever. But here's why my gut told me that David was going to take the job. So if you think of David Taylor, what do you think? David Taylor is a wrestler through and through. His whole life has been centered on wrestling. So he started in Wyoming. He moved to Ohio so he could be at St. Paris Graham, so he had a great wrestling situation. He then wanted to follow Cale, so he initially committed to Iowa State. When Cale went to Penn State, he followed him to Penn State. So this guy's whole life has been around wrestling. Now David Taylor is coming to the end of his career. He didn't make the Olympic team this year. And when you think of college coaching jobs, right? He'd done M2. He has a good club. But when we think of college coach jobs, how many really, really great college coaching jobs are there? There's two traditional wrestling powers, Iowa, Oklahoma State. You know, you could say Penn State. Penn State's a newer one, right? And listen, there's been other teams who've won national titles, Ohio State, Minnesota, but they're not traditional wrestling powers. Iowa and Oklahoma State go so far back. I mean, we're talking at this point 50 years plus, right, that they've been wrestling powerhouses. So how many other great jobs are there, right? Oklahoma State, Iowa, who knows when Iowa's going to open. Bormet's not leaving Michigan anytime soon. Ryan's not leaving Ohio State anytime soon. So, you know, which jobs would be open for David Taylor? So my thought was, when I tweeted this, was that David Taylor's whole life has been centered on wrestling. He wants his life to continue to be centered around wrestling. And while obviously there were some things that were pulling him to Penn State, he's been there for his entire adult life. He probably has a really, really close relationship with Cale. He, at the end of the day, he probably said, this is my opportunity. This is the best opportunity I'm going to get. And it's at the perfect time. I literally didn't make the Olympic team, 2 weeks ago. And now, boom, pop, this opportunity pops open. Yeah. Yes, I'm going to take it. Okay? So that was kind of what I was thinking, is his life has been centered on wrestling, and he's smart enough to realize this is the best opportunity he's going to get. Who knows when another one like this is going to open up? It might not be anytime soon, right? It might be another 5-10 years till a good opportunity like this opens up. So boom, it opens up at an opportune time. He's going to take it. Okay, what else do I want to talk about? The Penn State coaching tree. This is something I've talked about a lot on FRL. As I said, Cale, one of the things Cale's done such a great job of is like keeping everyone in-house. Now there has been other people who've went places. Ed Ruth's coaching, Mark Hall, Vincenzo, Frank Molinaro. So there have been Penn State guys that went other places. But Cale has done a great job of keeping the nucleus at home. So, Cale, Casey Cody, they've been the coaches the entire time. Varner's been around the whole time. David Taylor's been there, right, the entirety of the time. And I thought it was only a matter of time till, maybe David first, but then maybe it's Nolf and Zane. And other people go other places, and there becomes a coaching tree like there was with Gable at Iowa, like there was with John Smith at Oklahoma State, where these guys, they see someone do it really well, and they go out and they try to emulate that. Now, David is going to be the first one who's going to go try to emulate it. My thought is he's obviously going to do a great job. Now, I do think it will likely take a few years. I think a lot of the guys who are at Oklahoma State, they went there because they liked the culture there. They went there and they thought, we're getting this, right? Now, David Taylor comes in, now that's something different. And a lot of guys are going to say, hey, I'm freaking excited for that. I like a little something different. Or they're going to give him an opportunity. But there's always going to be some guys who went there and maybe they want to party too much. And David's like, we're going to cool it on the partying. And they're going to say, well, that wasn't what I signed up for. And they're going to go somewhere else. So I think it's probably going to take him a couple years to get the right pieces in the right places. I'm sure almost immediately he's going to have some success with some of the athletes to buy into what he's selling. But as far as the entirety of the team, my guess is it takes a couple of years. Just my guess. He could do really well next year, but I my guess is going to be 2 or 3 years, and then he really starts killing it. And I think that makes things a lot more exciting in college wrestling, because Cael has essentially cornered the market to the point where we didn't have a team race this year. We're probably not going to have a team race next year. We like team races. So at some point, we want a team race again. Pretty please, can we have it? David, Iowa hasn't been able to bring it to us. Maybe Tom Ryan's got a good team coming up. Michigan's had some good teams, but we haven't had a competitive team race. So let's get one, hopefully soon. And the last thing, Coleman Scott. I've never had anything but positive experience with Coleman. I think he's a few years younger than me. I like him. I think he's a great dude. That being said, I believe I said this publicly on FRL. If I didn't, I should have. I've said to other people, I don't think he should have left North Carolina. He had a head coaching job at a very good university, and he took the associate head or assistant head or whatever it was at Oklahoma State on a promise that he was going to be the next head coach. And I said immediately, there's no way that promise can actually be made. There's no way. Maybe John Smith told him. And is John Smith going to have influence? Is he going to have some influence on the administration? Of course, right? But is he the only one that has influence? And will he make the final decision? And the answer to that is obviously no. The answer is obviously no. They were obviously going to open it up for a really big national coaching search, and they were going to try to get the best guy they could get, which was, in this case, I think they made the right choice. I think Chris Pelleton would have been a great choice. I think Pat Pop would have been a great choice. But I think they made the right choice. I think it's a fun one. I think it's one that's going to bear out a lot of success for them. And so Coleman should have understood when he took that decision. And listen, maybe he did. I never had this conversation with him. Maybe he did understand this. That there's going to be other people that have influence. Don't you guys think there's going to be some rich booster who says, I want things the way I want things. If you don't give me the way I want things, I'm not giving any more damn money. Yes, of course there was. And so are those people going to have influence? Yeah, of course. Are they going to have as much influence as John Smith? No, but they are, in fact, going to have influence. And so when you and listen, this is a decent portion of the reason why I probably will never coach in college, because listen, I run my own thing. I do my own thing. Listen, I got to argue with Max once in a while. I got to say, hey Max, what the F? And then Max says, no, this is going to be this way. And I say, no, it's going to be this way. And we argue once in a while, right? But I don't have to answer to anybody, right? And if you're at a university, listen, there's the athletic administrators, right? There's a whole bunch of ADs, too many administrators probably. There's a head AD, then above them there's the president, there's the board, and blah, 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 right? There's all these people. And then influencing those people, there's all these rich donors who are saying, well, I'm giving my money and I want what I want and I don't like this, right? So you have all these sources of influence above you. So, a verbal promise from the current head coach, this is to all you other coaches out there, that should not be a good enough thing to get you to come. Right? And if you are taking that job, you should be under the impression that this is still up for debate. Like, I'm going to have to go earn this job when it comes open. And so, yeah, that freaking sucks for Coleman Scott. And by all accounts, like I said, in my experience, he's been a good guy. Everyone else says he's a great guy. But I think he probably should have stayed in North Carolina. He had a great job. He was doing a good job there. Will David keep him on? My guess is no. My guess is that David Taylor is going to clean house at Oklahoma State. He's going to bring his old, I think he's probably trying to go Gilman. Jimmy Kennedy's an obvious to me for him. I think he's probably trying to bring a bunch of those Penn State guys in with him to Oklahoma State, and likely that does not leave a lot of room for the people who are already at Oklahoma State to stay at Oklahoma State. Maybe he's one or two. I'm not certain. So, that's my take on this. I think this is so much fun. I'm excited. Congratulations, David Taylor. I hope you do a great job. I hope you shake up college wrestling. I hope you make it so much more fun. We want a team race. And guys, I'm done with FRL. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm not going to do this every day. But once in a while, I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click on my camera. And then I'm going to upload something to YouTube so you guys can hear my thoughts and opinions on stuff. Have a great day. Peace.